Yeah, that's how the song goes.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
And I had a busy day.
How'd your day go?
Busy.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds horrible.
Well, it was okay. I I got up north as fast as I could, leaving from campus, and there was like a seminar that I went to through ADI, and so I knew that there was like a presentation that I wanted to go see, and so it was like one of those. If you ever been to like
Explain what ADI is.
well, it's just like a distributor of all kinds of stuff. It's by Honeywell, and they do like alarm stuff. They do cameras, video, that whole deal.
So they had a seminar.
And so there was this seminar where they had a bunch of different companies come together, and I forget what the name of it. It's just like a convention, really. And they had one seminar that I wanted to go to, one that I wanted to see, and so it was at 2:30, and I leave here around 2:20ish because ADI is about 10 minutes away from here. I get to ADI, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, it's at a hotel in Pflugerville." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" So I drive out there as fast as I can, and then I get there and I see it, and it's interesting. I learned more about what I was trying to see. It's called BDA, bidirectional amplification, and it was cool. I got some like flyers and like a new little screwdriver that I can use for certain taper switches, which is nice.
Is it like a little party favor kind of thing?
Yeah, they had all kinds of party favors, and in the middle they had a bunch of snack bar type stuff that you would have really been interested in, actually.
What'd they have?
Like a bowl of apples and pears.
Oh, dude, they have like a bowl of chocolate milk.
A bowl, just like a punch bowl of chocolate milk.
Yeah.
No, but there's all kinds of soda garbage that you could have, and there was grandma's cookies and all kinds of stuff. But I just grabbed a bag of Lay's and left.
Fatty.
Well, there's also pretzels, some rolled gold pretzels, and I chose the Lay's over the pretzels.
I mean, they're pretty much the same thing.
And they are pretty much the same thing. But like if there's a bag of pretzels and Lay's next to each other,
I'm gonna take the one that tastes better.
usually I'm going to take the Lay's. And I don't really like original Lay's that much. They're okay.
They're a go-to for me. Like every now and then, like every 2 months, I'm like, I could go for some original Lay's right now. Just all that salt.
Yeah. No,
I want water.
yeah, they'll make you want water, that's for sure. Leave your mouth dry as heck. But
I mean, you gotta hydrate somehow.
yeah, you got to. And so I grabbed the Lay's over the pretzels. So no shame to pretzels. I like them a lot, kind of.
It sounds like you're completely just bombing pretzels right now.
I'm not bombing pretzels. Pretzels are good. I do like pretzels. Anyways, so I leave, and it was probably around 3:30, 3:40ish. And I was like, oh gosh, I got another job I got to go to this afternoon in Barton Creek, and it's not that close. And I had to change out a bunch of smokes and some smoke detectors on their system because I had one that was going bad and creating false alarms. It's just this house, and I get a 6-foot ladder. Normally I keep around a 4-foot ladder because usually the ceilings aren't that high, but I needed a 6-foot ladder because these ceilings are a little bit taller. But then there was one smoke in the master bedroom that I had to replace. It was a 14-foot ceiling.
Last job I was on, there were 2 that I couldn't change because I didn't have the ladder for it.
So I stood on the very top of the 6-foot ladder with nothing to hold on to. There was like a door that I could swing out a little bit and kind of brace myself as I got up to the next step. But then I needed that ladder so I could hold the old bass and the old smoke on there as I switched them out. Meanwhile, I had a resistor in my mouth, and I was working above my head, and I found some dumbbells in the room, like little 8-pound dumbbells. So then I took them, I put them on the base of the ladder on the first rung, and it helped a little bit because when I tried to do it initially, it was really wobbly. I was like, there's no way I'm not going to fall 6 feet to the ground. So I put the dumbbells down. They helped a little bit, and that was probably the sweatiest I've been in a while. Just scared. Yeah, I was nervous. I was working. I mean, sitting here changing out the bass, changing out the wires.
Yeah.
And it was nice because it was the EOL. So I had the resistor, but it was only one set of wires. So all I only had to do was the 4-wire. And yeah, I got like calls and text messages while I was on the ladder. I was like, gosh, please stop. I don't think, because I can do that on a 4-foot ladder pretty easily, like stand on the black part that you're not supposed to stand on and get done what I'm supposed to. But on 6 feet, once you get up to about 6 feet and you start standing on that top part,
It just gets wobbly.
it's super wobbly, super unstable. And I was like, this is going to go bad, or it could go bad. But I was like, I'm going to get this done. Like, I'm not going to come back here. Like, I'm going to make this, I'm going to do it. I don't care. And I did it. And when I was done, I was like, oh my goodness. I was just wiping the sweat off my arms and my forehead. Because like the rest of the job wasn't that difficult. I mean, it was just changing out smokes. But then that one part where I had to work on the top part of the ladder that you're not supposed to stand on. And it's not like I was eye level, or at least like the top of my head was touching the ceiling. I was still working 2 more feet above my head trying to make this happen. And that's when your shoulders get really sore.
Oh my gosh.
They get so tired.
If you change like 20 smokes, by the time you've changed like 10 and you have to do like 8 wires for each smoke, sometimes you got to take a break.
You have to take a break. I mean, your arms just start cramping so bad because you're just sitting here with your arms above your head the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was right about to leave. And whenever a smoke is doing what it's supposed to, it'll flash green on one side. Mm-hmm. There's usually a green light and a red light. And the red light will go solid whenever there's an alarm, whenever it senses smoke. And the red light will also flash sometimes if something's not right. And so all the other smokes were flashing green, except for this one. It started flashing red. And I was like, no, like, I'm not done. Like, I need to go. It was like 6:10. And I was like, gosh, I grabbed my ladder and I put it on right in front of the smoke. I'm about to jump up there and it starts flashing green. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving. Like, I saw it flash green. I'm done. And you know what? I'm out of here. And so I did. I just packed up and left. And, you know, everything works the way it's supposed to. I mean, it's not going to flash green unless it's not okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's flash green because it was getting whatever voltage it needed to and the loop was closed and that type of deal. But yeah, I got pretty sweaty today. And I didn't think I was going to have to. I didn't think I was going to be suspended 6 feet in the air, pretty unbalanced, and work above my head. So that was interesting. And so that was how I ended my day today.
Nice.
I'm sure you did something just as interesting as that, or exciting.
Not gonna lie, I played Clash Royale for like I don't even know. I can't speak. I played a lot of Clash Royale today, but it's okay. I was winning.
You were winning?
I'm not gonna lie, I probably lost like 10 times.
Okay, well, good for you.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm glad you had a good day.
No, that wasn't my whole day. I worked in my business a little bit. I was indoors the whole day, and I went and smoked like a little bit before this, and who I was smoking with, I went and smoked with David, and I was like, where are we smoking? He was like, outside, and I was like, bet. Because I've been indoors all day. Like, if I'm indoors all day, I don't feel right unless I like go outside for a few hours. Like, I have to go outside every day.
I can usually tell whenever you smoke because
My voice gets a little...
your voice is just so like deep and monotone. It just kind of sounds like this, which is okay. I mean,
I don't really care.
I know you don't care. Okay, so what's your bear fact?
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot. I don't even have one.
Yeah, you do. You said you had one.
I know.
It's okay if you don't have one. You can just think of one.
No, I have. Okay. Bears have 4 legs. So this is for black bears specifically. If you are approached by a black bear, you don't run, but you don't approach it. You make yourself look as big as possible. So like if you have a coat or a shirt, like stretch it out and like get big, like kind of how a pufferfish would. And you also make noise, like that kind of thing. And then if they attack you, do not play dead. Like, you got to fight back or get to a car or a building.
That's for black bears.
That is for black bears.
It's funny how the different species of bears, they react so differently.
They have a lot of personality.
They do have lots of personality.
Yeah, so I guess for the next few, we'll just run through all the bears if you're approached by any of them.
It seems like, you said that's black bear?
That was black bear.
So like with a brown bear or a grizzly bear or a Kodiak bear.
I think with a grizzly bear, you're supposed to play dead.
Right, you're supposed to play dead. But then that makes you think, you play dead because...
They want to kill their prey.
Right. And also because it's kind of a sport thing. Like they want to play with you almost. Like they want to...
Yeah, they want to have fun.
Yeah, right. So they're trying to kill you. But then if you're already dead...
God, what a morbid way to have fun. Like, God, I'm going to fucking play with this thing while I completely slaughter it.
Well, that's like a cat playing with something that's already dead. Or a dog playing with something that's already dead.
That's true.
I mean... A cat will play with a mouse until it's dead, and then it'll get bored and leave.
Yeah, that's actually kind of fucked up.
And it's this, and I guess that's the same way with brown bears, but then black bears are just wired differently. And I think black bears aren't as big.
Yeah, they're smaller.
So black bears aren't as big as brown bears.
Yeah.
Right. So then they might be afraid of you because they are a prey to other animals. And I think we talked about, I think mountain lions are included in that conversation of being predators towards black bears.
Yeah.
And so then if you are big and scary looking, then they might be afraid of you. But then when you're the alpha male, when you're the brown bear, there's nothing that can mess with you except for other brown bears. I mean, they're just gonna play with you because they know that they can. So then if you try to fight back, they're gonna get you.
With what I think we mentioned there's 8 different species of bear. There's 8 as a whole, like black bear, brown bear, Kodiak bear, polar bear, etc. But then there's also lower classifications. So when it comes down to fur or different claws, like different genes they have, there's the cinnamon bear, the Kermode bear, which is blonde, the Louisiana black bear, which you wouldn't think there's bears down there, Florida black bear.
Is there really?
Yeah.
There's bears in Louisiana?
Yeah. I'm looking at a picture of one.
Wow, I had no idea.
There's a lot of them. Vancouver Island black bear. So a lot of these are all different black bears. Like I'm going to name all the black bears. Mexican, Eastern, Olympic, Kenai. There's a glacier bear.
A glacier black bear?
No, just glacier bear.
Glacier bear.
California black bear, but those are extinct.
Are they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The New Mexico black bear and the West Mexico black bear. There's a bunch of black bears.
Well, it's funny how there's bears in Louisiana, but there aren't really any bears in Texas. Unless maybe there's no bears in Texas.
Let's find out.
Because I feel like if there were bears in Texas, I would have known about them by now.
I would say there might be bears in East Texas.
Really?
The black bear is protected and rare in Texas. You can't. It's illegal to do anything with them. Hunt, harass, anything.
So there are bears in Texas.
Yes, but they're very rare.
Interesting.
Where do bears live in Texas?
But then there's bears in Florida. Like what?
They went for a swim.
Seriously?
The Panhandle, deep Northeast, Trans-Pico, and the Western Hill Country.
There's a TV show that I started watching a little bit last night with my roommates called Band of Brothers. You ever heard of it?
What's it called again?
Band of Brothers.
I've heard of that.
I wasn't really watching it. I was doing something else at the time, but then I heard someone talking on screen whose voice I recognized. It was Ross.
From
Friends. Yeah, it was David Schwimmer.
Yeah. He has actually a very distinguishable voice.
Very, very. I was just doing something. I was like, is that David Schwimmer? And it's like, oh my gosh, it is. And something, I had no idea that Band of Brothers is as old as it is. It came out in 2001. And if you were to watch it, you might think it came out recently because it looks really good. It was produced by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg, and it's about this paratrooper regiment. It kind of focuses on this one group of guys in World War II, and it kind of just plays this whole story about the whole group. And I watched most of the first episode, and I think there's 8 episodes, and they're pretty long. It's a mini series, and it's really good. I mean, I just watched one of the episodes. It was really good. I did like it a lot.
I might check that out. I do like war and like history stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really well done, and they won awards for it too. And there's actually a bunch of people in there that I guess they weren't as big actors or actresses until later in their career, because Michael Fassbender was in it, or he is in it. I don't know which episode, but he wasn't in the first one. But Michael Fassbender he was in Prometheus. He was in the newer Alien movie. He played Steve Jobs in the Steve Jobs movie.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
What else was he in? He was in something else really important. He was in X-Men. He plays Magneto in the newer X-Men movies. Anyways, so he's in it. Donnie Wahlberg is in it. So Mark Wahlberg's brother. David Schwimmer. Who else? There's a handful of guys that if you saw them, you'd recognize them.
Was Mark Wahlberg making movies in '01?
Yes, he definitely was.
When was his rap career? Like
His hip hop
90s?
stuff, that was '90s. That was like early '90s, mid '90s. Marky Mark,
Marky Mark, and the Funky Bunch.
Marky Mark, and I think right around the same time he did Boogie Nights. That's what Mark Wahlberg was in.
91 to 93.
He was Marky Mark.
Marky Mark is 91 to 93. He actually has a few songs in like Good Vibrations.
Oh yeah,
Wild Side.
yeah. Boogie Nights came out in '97. So 3 years before, or 4 years before Band of Brothers came out, Mark Wahlberg had really become a really big actor at the time. So in the late '90s, mid to late '90s, he had done a handful of movies that were pretty successful, and Boogie Nights being probably one of the most famous ones. I do want to see that. I haven't seen that yet. I do want to look into it.
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights, and it takes place in I think the '70s. Yeah, late '70s, and I'm not going to read the synopsis of the movie, but it looked interesting.
Mark Wahlberg is the richest Wahlberg.
I would assume, yeah, that would make the most amount of sense. Then what about the Wahlburger? You ever heard of that?
The Wahlburger?
Yeah, Wahlburger. You've never heard of Wahlburgers?
Did he try to make a fast food chain, or did he?
He did Wahlburgers. Like it's a
You're capping.
it's a real place where you can get food, and it's owned by the Wahlberg family. Really, you've never heard of Wahlburgers? I mean, I never had one. At some point, whenever I go up to the Northeast to do anything,
Yeah, I was gonna say, where is it?
well, he's from Boston,
Yeah.
obviously, and
It's
so
in Massachusetts.
Yep.
California, Illinois.
so where he's from, you can only assume that's where the Wahlburgers are going to be.
All right, I gotta try that. I wanna check that out.
Yeah, sometime when I decide to go to the Northeast for anything, then I'm gonna check out the Wahlburgers, see if they're any good compared to Hop Dottie.
I mean, what's really even in the Northeast besides like 2/3 of the population?
I mean, a lot of stuff. But I'm not gonna try and narrow down the Northeast into like, any kind of stereotype in general. It's just really crowded cities with a lot going on. I've been there once. You and I, when we were really young, we went to
Cooperstown.
New York. We went to Cooperstown, and we went to what was that college? That town that we took that picture in front of. That college, was it called like Union College, something like that?
Did we go to Union?
I think Union. What I mean, like
Union.
yeah, it was in Union College, Schenectady. Yeah, I remember. So we were up in that area.
There's that picture of us standing in front of the gate, right?
Yeah, but that was really the only time we ever went to the Northeast.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been a reason to go because we don't have like family up there or anything.
I've been to Chicago.
Yeah. What was Chicago like?
It was cool.
Did you see the Bean?
Yeah, I saw the Bean. I have a picture of the Bean. The Bean was pretty cool. They had some really cool fountains. The coolest thing about Chicago is if you're in the city, the coastline is like you can see the water from a lake, or I don't know if it's a lake.
It's a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it from the Bean. Like the whole city goes along kind of a coastline of a huge ass lake.
Yeah.
And we went on like a really.
Do you know what that lake's called?
Okeechobee. I'm just kidding.
No. I think it's Lake Michigan. I could be wrong though.
But we took like a really fast boat ferry down the coastline and saw the whole city. It was pretty epic during sunset.
Nice.
If you had a partner there, that would be the time to kiss them.
In Chicago. Yeah, it's Lake Michigan. That's what I thought.
Smarty pants.
Well, I was just.
You know your water.
I know some things about water. Like most people can float in it, but not everyone.
Yeah.
Can you float in water?
Kind of. I can keep my chest up, but my legs sink.
But if you were like in a pool and you just sat there and tried to float, could you float?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if I try to float, my legs sink. I can stay up, but my legs are too heavy. They don't have enough fat. And
So could you like try to float and breathe at the same time? How long do you think you could just sit there?
like if my feet didn't sink, I could sit there all day.
Really?
Yeah. It's not that hard. I used to be able to do it when I was bigger.
Yeah, I've never been able to do it.
Yeah,
I always sink.
Yeah, I don't sink with my chest, but my legs, I just turn 90 degrees and start basically standing.
I'm interested to see more of these shows that HBO did. And HBO did Band of Brothers, I want to say. And then it's funny that HBO doesn't really get the recognition, or maybe they do a little bit, especially because of Game of Thrones, because HBO did Game of Thrones. I'm sure that HBO's done a bunch of miniseries or other series that are really good. And they're kind of hard to find, though, because you can either only see them on HBO or have like some kind of special subscription, or you have to go out and buy it somewhere. You can't go on Netflix or something. But maybe now, I think maybe you can.
Are you trying to get a sponsor from HBO?
No, but that'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Lots of movies.
Yeah, so HBO's done a lot. They've done a bunch. Oh, I didn't realize that
HBO has done a lot
of TV
no
shows.
fucking way.
Of TV shows.
Wait,
I didn't think they did that many. They did True Detective.
it's HBO, man.
Did you know that? HBO was True Detective. You ever watch any of that?
Your mom.
Nice. Well said. Good for you. Would you rather go bald or not have any hair on the rest of your body? That includes your eyebrows.
So, like, only have head hair or only have body hair?
Yes.
I'd be bald.
You'd be bald?
I'll take bald. I wouldn't mind being bald, honestly.
You were talking about that the other day.
I'm going to try that out.
Why do you want to be bald?
Why not? I'm thinking about getting cornrows before I do it, too.
Get cornrows and then go bald?
Yeah. I have a friend that can do it for me.
Really?
Yeah. I'll get cornrows for like...
That'd be a sight.
3 or 4 days, I know. I would never do it again.
Yeah, because it'd hurt.
But I would drop the most fire mixtape of 2020.
It's just because you have cornrows?
I'll go buy some Air Force Ones.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Oh, no, I want a pair of Air Force Ones. I want to be able to crip walk so bad. If I can crip walk like a G, I'm buying a pair of Air Force Ones.
Like, I get the idea of having nice shoes. Like, you know, walking around and having nice shoes on your feet. But then to the point where you can't get water on them, you can't crease them, you have to walk flat-footed all the time.
Yeah,
and just try to preserve them.
Creasing thing isn't my thing. I'm going to get Air Force Ones because I like them, and I'm just going to wear them. I don't care if they get creased because I wear my shoes until they have holes in them.
Right. But then there's, lots of people that have all kinds of shoes, and they're just, super invested in their tennis shoes, and they've got, thousands of dollars worth of shoes, sometimes in one box.
Yeah.
And, you would buy these shoes, and they're really nice, and they're cool, and you have them, and you wear them every once in a while. But then they become an investment, right? So then you can turn around and sell them for pretty close to what you paid for, maybe, sometimes more.
Yeah, with the crease thing, people actually buy like metal scooper kind of things, and you put them in the toe so that even if you try and crease it, you can't crease it. Innovation that excites.
Yeah, it's a good idea, especially that's what you're trying to do. But I was just thinking, I like having shoes that have a good amount of grip on the bottom of them, because there's nothing worse than trying to like play basketball or something, or like even yesterday when I was in the gym, I was trying to do this back exercise, and I was down on one knee, and my foot kept sliding forward on the ground that I was on, because the weight that I was holding was a decent amount, and it was pulling me towards the cable that I was doing it on, but it was really annoying me because I couldn't keep my feet planted, and I couldn't just focus on what I was doing. I also had to worry about making sure I wasn't sliding forward at the same time, and I just like having shoes that have a really good, strong grip on the bottom of them. And usually at the point whenever I lose that grip, that's when I get a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, I go until they're completely falling apart. Like with the pair of shoes that I have right now, those white ones, one of the shoelaces busted, so I just kind of like pulled it tight and then tied it.
You can get some new shoelaces.
No, like one of the holders for the shoelace came off too, and the shoelace broke as well. And I just like tied it tight. I pulled it tight, tied it in a really janky way that's not ever going to come undone. And that's that
Yeah.
until my foot is sticking through it.
Well, remember the other pair of shoes you had? You got, I guess it was the first pair of Jordans you ever had.
I do remember those Jordans. I do want to get another pair. They were the Equinoxes.
Yeah. And
What's up?
remember what happened to them?
I do remember what happened to them.
You want to talk about it?
Well, Brandt, freshman year, well, I don't even know what we were doing. We were kind of just riding around the neighborhood. Brandt was driving our dad's truck, and I was riding around on the back, like holding onto the tailgate, standing on the bumper.
I think we were picking up something like office chairs that people had left out or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. And we come up to a stop sign, and I wanted to be really cool and run with the truck and then jump on. But the truck took off a little bit too quick. I'm not blaming it on you. Like, I just was a dumbass and didn't jump up in time.
I bet it happened in the middle of a street somewhere, like towards the end, like the middle of the neighborhood.
You came up to a stop and you're going left at a perpendicular stop sign. And as you were turning left, I was running with it. And then once you started going straight, it was going too fast and my jump didn't make it. And so I was holding on to the top of the tailgate and my knees were dangling. And in that moment, I was like, if I keep holding on to this, I'm going to slip and fuck up my knees. So I let go of it, and before you started going too fast, and you were probably going like 20 or 25, and whenever I let go, I turned my knees, and so it turned my body to my butt, and I dragged my ass on the ground so hard. Like I had, my right ass cheek was a scab for like a month.
Your whole butt?
My whole butt. Just the right butt cheek, but like the whole butt cheek was a fucking scab.
Gross.
I tore up my shirt. I still have the shirt, still wear the shirt.
Nice.
The pants, I don't know where those went. I still had the pair of socks for a while, but the hole got too big from what happened. But yeah, with the shoes did catch a good area of the ground, and it kind of ripped holes in them and shit.
I mean, you ripped holes in both of those shoes.
Yeah.
And they were trash.
Yeah, really.
Just as soon as you got them.
Yeah, I really liked them. I haven't gotten Jordans since, but that's not off the list. I do want a nice pair of ones by Air Force Ones. I don't know. We'll see when the time comes.
What color would you get? Would you just get all white?
Air Force Ones?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Is that the only way to get them? I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't get black. I'm not suited for all black. That's...
Because I know that you can get them in all kinds of different colors. Like you can do, Bulls, the red and black. You can do UNC because they have the blue and white ones.
Yeah.
The Tar Heels.
I would just get all white and then, I don't know, just a pair of ones that are black, white, and red. I don't know. I do like the Jordan Retros or like the Jordan Bloodlines. They're just so nice.
Yeah, they look nice. But then again, I also like a pair of tennis shoes that cost more than $100 and something, like $110, $120. Once it gets above there, I'm like, do I really need to spend this much money on a pair of shoes?
Yeah, if I was,
that's just me.
Yeah, if I was spending upwards of $200 on a shoe, which you would not probably find me doing that. I haven't paid over $100 for a pair of shoes in the last like 5 years. I've gone through, I think, 4 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, because I'm kind of the same way. I'll just wear my shoes until they're done. I get them for the functionality of them. Really, I mean, yeah, sometimes they look cool, and I like them because they're comfy, and I don't want to spend a bunch of money on them. Mm-hmm. That's just me.
Yeah, I got a pair of Adidas Alpha Bounces like sophomore year, like right at the start, and they're still sitting in my shoe.
They're dirty.
They're just old. They're not dirty. They're all black, so it's hard to get them dirty.
What the white ones you have?
Yeah, the white ones. Those are the newer ones, but those are the ones with the busted shoelace.
Oh, okay.
But the black ones have absolutely zero sole. Like, there is not a sole in there, so I have to just get an extra pair of soles, and those shoes will go another year or two.
Would you rather wear a tank top everywhere you go or a swimming shirt? Like one of those long sleeve swimming shirts that you see dads wearing at a
tank top.
At a pool.
Just stop talking tank top.
You want a swimming shirt?
No.
Would you wear one if you were on a boat?
A swimming shirt?
Yes.
Do I have sunscreen?
Yes.
No.
So you would never wear a swimming shirt?
if I had sunscreen.
But then there's a point for
I'm
a swimming shirt. It's
I'm
like
basically wearing one right now.
it's just a long sleeve synthetic shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind wearing this. I
Yeah.
like this one. I've had this one for all of my clothes. I've had for at least like 4 or 5 years. I got this like freshman year.
They just last.
Yeah, it was huge on me when I first got it, but now it's kind of
No, it's still pretty huge on you.
not the arm length wise. I mean,
No one can hear you.
I don't care.
Are you playing fantasy football this year?
Probably not.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just another thing to keep track of.
Yeah. So you don't find it that much fun?
I find it fun, but I don't keep up with it enough to put money on it. Like I'll go into a free league for sure, but I don't want to put money even if it's $20. I want to have a fair chance at winning if I'm putting money in there.
Then you should put the time in and effort.
But I could be playing Clash Royale and Minecraft. I'm just kidding. Look, man, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, really? Enough time to play Clash Royale all day?
I didn't. Did I say all day?
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't mean all day. I probably played for like 2.5 hours today, though. Not all at once. It was like an hour and a half, and then maybe like 30 minutes or an hour at a different time.
Okay.
But man, it was fun. I don't know why. I realized it about Clash Royale. It's just chess. It's live action chess.
It really is.
And that's what makes it so much fun. Because whenever all of the cards are equal, do you know what it comes down to?
What?
I'm asking you.
What does it come down to?
Skill.
Yeah, it does.
And guess who doesn't lose?
Who doesn't lose?
This guy. No, I do lose, but I haven't played in like 2 or 3 months, and they added 2 new arenas to the ladder. And what that did to Legendary Arena is they made the ladder harder because since they added 2 arenas below it, it stretched it out and moved the better players down a little bit. So the ladder got a little bit harder, and it's kind of annoying. You can't really get back to where you were without trying your ass off.
Yeah.
I have noticed, like, I've caught myself in certain games just, like, full focus, trying my ass off just to win one game. I'm like, okay. It's not fun when I have to do this for every single game, but that's why there's 2v2 and extra game modes.
Yeah.
Sorry to ramble about Clash Royale.
That's okay. It happens sometimes.
Whenever it comes to a video game that I'm very passionate about, I guarantee you, just pick one video game that I'm passionate about. I could talk the entire episode about that game.
Really?
I'm sure you could. Oh, dang it. I was trying to say it at the same time as you.
Do you think aliens are real?
Yes.
Tell me why you think aliens are real.
Because throughout the history of the universe, not every planet will do it, but most planets will have a prime time for life, where right now Earth is in its prime time, where it can sustain life. All of the planets throughout all of the universe, there's probably been a good amount of planets that have been able to sustain life, maybe a different kind of life, and throughout all of those, you can take it down to maybe one of them fled that planet and they're able to get off and go somewhere like what we're trying to do with Mars. So,
But Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't think there's aliens.
There's got to be. Like, I mean, if you think about how big our universe is and how many
It's infinite.
opportunities there could be, I don't know. Maybe if they don't come to us, I believe firmly that there is another planet out there inhabited by something somewhere.
Do you think it'd be a situation like super death-killing aliens?
I don't know.
Death-killing.
See, that's what the thing that Neil deGrasse Tyson said about the aliens that we think would come here to kill us or to abduct us, because that's what the human mind perceives. Like, whenever we see a wild animal, we kill it for food, so we think that the aliens would come here to kill us.
They're not interested in us.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan had a really good point. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that we aren't interesting at all. Like, we are actually dull. And then Joe Rogan went on this kind of a tangent about how, like, stupid and simple we are is so fascinating, which is...
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, you would think, like, we might be on the brink of blowing ourselves up to oblivion, right? Or, you know, some crazy pandemic comes out and just wipes out everyone. And something that, you know, we decide, oh, yeah, we're going to mess around with gain of function research. And we're going to create some super bad virus that we can protect ourselves against it. But then the virus gets out. All of a sudden, everyone's freaking dead. And you think there might be like aliens keeping tabs on us, just like making sure that we don't do something stupid.
Yeah, I have thought about that. What if there's aliens out there that know we're here, but they haven't made it present? They're just observing us from a distance. They might have, different technology and stuff like that to make them undetectable.
Do you think 9/11 was an inside job?
Oh my God, are you just going through conspiracies?
You answer the question.
I don't know. I'm not educated enough on the topic to make my own assumption.
Really?
I know from what I've heard. I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm not going to say like one or the other, but it doesn't surprise me that is a conspiracy theory.
Do you think in the NBA they rig the games?
In what way?
To make sure that either one team wins or the other one doesn't. Maybe during regular season games, but mostly in the playoffs to make the series last longer.
I could see refs maybe calling calls or not calling calls.
But here's something that did happen as recently as 10, 15 years ago, 20 at the most, that there was a ref convicted of cooking games for the interest of the mob.
Damn.
The mob got a hold of a ref and got him involved. And so then, you know, it'd be one of those deals where the mob says, okay, we put all this money on this team to win. Make sure that they win this game. And in the game, if you think about it, in the game of basketball, if you were ever going to cook a game, it really comes down to the officiating, because you can't cheat buckets. Like, you can't, you know, cheat to score more points. Maybe you can cheat, get the other team on the line and, you know, tell them, you know, let them score this many points or whatever, right? So you can have the other team. You can't cheat by scoring more points. You can only cheat by either allowing the other team to let you score or getting into the ref's pockets, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a thing?
Happening currently?
Yes.
I'm sure it happens here and there.
What about all of major sports?
I would say throughout all of major sports, there is inside stuff that isn't public happening everywhere. It happens all the time. Everything is business. Everything.
What about
everything, Brandt?
what
Everything.
about when
Go.
the Patriots beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl?
Oh my God, dude! Not rigged at all.
28-3.
Yeah, that wasn't rigged at all.
28-3.
Like, people that actually think that football is deflated, no way.
Well, that wasn't deflated. So the deflate gate happened well before this.
Oh wait, that wasn't that game?
No.
Oh.
Deflate gate was, I think, in 2014 or something like that.
It was no way.
It was like 2013, 2014. Because this was the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 52? So this was in
damn, it was 15.
Yeah, so this was in 2018. So
against the Colts.
The Falcons and the Patriots game was in 2018.
Dude,
you're up 28-3. So if you're Matt Ryan and you're the Falcons, what are you thinking?
I'm just trying to grasp that the deflated football almost happened 7 years ago. I'm sorry. What was
Wait, you thought it was sooner than that?
I thought it happened like 3 years ago.
No, that was a while ago.
I am out of touch.
You are out of touch. Holy crap! I'm talking to the wrong person about this stuff.
What was your question?
I mean, it's about that game being cooked in the Patriots' favor. I mean, I'm sure you didn't sit down and watch and analyze all the plays that were made and all the calls that were made.
I definitely saw parts of the game.
But do you think that 28-3 comeback is 100% possible and 100% real?
Whenever it was 28-3 and they came back and won, like...
Yeah, like They won by a few points. And they went to overtime. I think they tied it at 28-28. And then there was overtime, and Patriots won on the first drive.
Yeah, 1OT 34-28.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at I think it's not rigged. I think it happens. That happens all the time.
It can happen. But then on the biggest stage.
I mean, that is true. Whenever you take it to the biggest stage, it's up for debate. But I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, I saw a stat one time that they were like 11-0 whenever they were down at halftime.
Really?
Yeah. It was either that or the Rams, but one of those two teams, like they were better whenever they went into the locker room down. So I mean, because they come out in the third quarter they only scored 6, but fourth quarter they scored 19.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady is definitely one of the greatest football players ever to live.
You think he's the greatest ever?
I used to think he was the greatest, but David kind of opened my mind to a different perspective. The rules of football have changed all the time. Like every 10 years, there's some kind of revision to some kind of rule. And the greatest quarterbacks in the 70s and 80s, if they had the same rules as today, they could probably go off like Tom Brady does. I mean, they were taking blindside hits and not even getting penalties for it.
Yeah. You're talking about like Dan Marino and Terry Bradshaw and Troy Aikman. And
yeah, those people that, like, Troy Aikman destroyed his leg on a hit, right?
Was it? No, that was Montana.
That was Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Like, got a complete cheap shot to the legs and just
It wasn't a cheap shot, but he completely twisted his knee in half.
Yeah, so I mean the rules were different back then, so I'm sure with all of the greats back then, if they had the same rules as now,
That makes sense.
it would be a better conversation. But
That's kind of a hard thing to take into consideration. But it's easier applied in baseball because the rules don't change.
Yeah,
the rules
baseball
are
has
the rules are the rules pretty much. And really the biggest one that's changed is
the catcher
what about the catcher?
getting hit,
What do you mean?
charging the catcher.
Oh yeah, there's that one, but then also the pitchers with sticky substances.
Oh yeah,
That's a big one. That's changed.
Yeah,
And for whether or not pitchers are getting better because of it or they're getting worse because of it, I don't see anything dramatic thus far since they implemented the rule.
is his name Ken Rosenthal?
Yes.
Okay, Ken Rosenthal said he said a statement that was like, I guess with the sticky substance thing that has occurred, the era of no hitters has ended, and then 3 hours later, that dude threw a no hitter for
The Diamondbacks.
something Gilbert.
Yes. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Come on, man, shut up.
I'm trying to think. I mean, usually at the beginning of every baseball season, there's the anticipation, waiting for the first no hitter to happen because there's usually at least a handful every season. There's a handful of no hitters.
Yeah.
I want to see real quick how many no hitters there have been
In history?
No, just this season.
One.
That's the only one.
No. There's probably been 5 or 6.
Yeah, there's been a handful. Wait, Wade Miley had a no hitter? No way. Crazy. Joe Musgrove. Joe Musgrove had the first one. Carlos Rodon, John Means, Wade Miley, Spencer Turnbull, Corey Kluber.
Would you rather be the MVP pitcher of the World Series or throw 4 perfect games in one season?
Wait, say that again?
Be the MVP pitcher of the World Series or throw 4 perfect games in one season?
4 perfect games. Well, so you're saying if you win the MVP as a pitcher in the World Series, it means you won the World Series too?
I mean, if you're the MVP pitcher of the World Series, then
yeah,
you took them there. I mean, you probably won 2 of those games for them.
I would say the World Series then. Yeah, I would say the World Series.
But I mean, what's the most perfect game?
The most perfect game? There's only one kind of perfect game.
I know. How many perfect games have there? How often does it occur?
Oh, it doesn't happen very often at all. That's once every... I think the last one...
There have been 23 true perfect games in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
I would take the perfect games.
4 of them.
4 in one season, you would go in history.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure has there been a pitcher to throw 2?
I don't think so. Or maybe I'm wrong. But I think, when was the last Felix Hernandez had the last perfect game.
Yeah.
That was like 2016, I think.
Over the last 150 years of Major League Baseball, over 218,000 games, there have only been 23 perfect games and no pitcher has ever thrown 2. Yeah, I would take the perfect games for fucking sure because I'm going to be the greatest to get perfect games for the rest of history.
No one has ever thrown multiple perfect games. That's insane. But also, what's really impressive is the immaculate inning. I would love to be able to do that. You know what the immaculate inning is?
3 pitches?
9 pitches, 9 strikeouts.
Oh, three strikeouts.
Yes, 3 strikeouts.
9 strikes.
It doesn't matter as long as the third pitch ends in a strikeout for each batter. So it's strike, strikeout, strikeout. 3 times.
2 of the perfect games have gone into extra innings.
Really?
Dude, imagine how fucking intense that would be. A perfect game in extra innings. Bottom of the 12th. Perfect game on the line.
I was watching a game, I wouldn't say recently, it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and Rich Hill was pitching for the Dodgers, and he had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning, and he closes out the 9th inning. They were playing on the road. So it was like the bottom of the 8th. I think the game was tied. And it was 0-0. He keeps the no-hitter alive, goes to the 9th. Dodgers go up to bat, don't score any runs. And so now he's got to go back out there knowing that he's got to keep no runs on the board just to force extras. So no matter what, if he wants the perfect game, it's going to have to happen in the 10th. So he finishes him off in the 9th, and they go to the 10th. I think the Dodgers, they might have scored a run, or maybe they didn't, and then he goes into the bottom of the 10th, and he gives up the no-hitter.
Damn.
But to think, like, if your team had just scored 1 run over the course of 9 innings, that you would have gotten a no-hitter.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. I remember watching that, being really, really upset for him.
There's only one catcher to have caught 2 perfect games. Ron Hassey caught one in 81 and 91.
Wow. He caught 2 perfect games.
He's the only catcher.
That's kind of cool. Have you been watching more baseball lately? I know Henry has because the Yankees are starting to win.
Is he not a Mets fan?
No, he's a Yankees fan.
Of course.
Well, we talked about that.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but whenever I see baseball on my phone, I'll watch it.
Yeah. You just watch highlights in general?
Yeah, I love watching highlights. Good and bad. Sometimes I hate watching bad highlights. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah.
Like bottom of the 9th, fly ball, biffs it, they win. It's like, you're going to hate yourself for like 3 nights.
The one thing about the perfect game, there was one that was supposed to happen before Felix Hernandez's, the last one. I forget the guy's name. He's pitching for the Tigers, and you've seen the clips probably 1,000 times. The guy's name was, I think, something Galarraga or something like that. Pitching for the Tigers. He has a perfect game. There's a ground ball. There's 2 outs. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Perfect game. They're playing in Detroit. Ground ball to Miguel Cabrera. Galarraga runs over to cover the bag. And Miggy throws him the ball, and he catches it. And you go back and watch a replay. He beat him there. But then the umpire called him safe. With 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
With a perfect game on the line.
To ruin the perfect game, and he was out. He was actually out. But this took place before the replay.
Wow.
So there was no way to go back and replay it. So he called him safe, and there's no way to challenge it.
Damn.
There's no way to reverse it.
That blows.
And all you can do is just sit. The pitcher was just laughing. He's like, there's no way that just happened.
He threw a perfect game.
He did. It happened about 10 years ago, I want to say. And that's the one blunder clip that I have a hard time watching because I just can't imagine being that guy.
I think I might have seen it out of context.
You've definitely seen it before.
I've definitely seen it. I might not have known exactly what was happening, but
He was 1 out away from a perfect game, gets the guy out, actually, but the umpire called him safe. And then the umpire, it might have been Jerry Meals, I forget his name, and he was destroyed. I mean, the umpire felt so bad. I mean, they had like an interview with him afterwards, and he was like crying, like he felt so bad for this dude that he called him safe, even though in reality he was out. He was out by like a step and a half.
I would too. I would kill myself. I mean, ruining a perfect game, 23 in history. I mean, at that time there were 22,
and even then, he was 1 out away. He was 1 out away, and the guy was out, and he called him safe. That one's a hard one for me to watch.
I think that's a good note. I think that's a good note to end on.
Oh, is it? Okay, I guess Major wants to be done.
Well,
I'm glad we had a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
You got anything else you want to say?
It's been a good one.
All right. And I guess with that,
catch us next time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
ESPN,
Anchor, Hulu,
Netflix,
Crackle,
Quibi,
Peacock,
YouTube, CBS,
Twitter.
Facebook.
Fuck, I can't think of it.